Welcome you guys to Galadon Gaming. I am your host, Galadon. First off, I just wanted to sincerely thank you for your time. Thank you guys for stopping by. I know your time is valuable. I appreciate the fact that you're going to spend a few minutes of it right here talking about absolutely crazy nuts princess action in this deck. Now, this is a bait deck, I guess you would call it. The Zap bait meta is real. A lot of people were running this in the Electro Wizard Challenge, and it works in other challenges as well. Here I'm trying it out in a grand challenge, a few grand challenge matches, and I gotta admit, for some reason, I enjoy this style play better than the big tanks, dropping the lava hounds in the back, the golems in the back, and waiting for them to trudge up onto your opponent's tower. I would rather just throw all sorts of units all over the place and see what happens. So right here, you can see my opponent also has the princess, so early on, it's a battle of the princesses, and they're pretty much nullifying each other. Not a lot going on, but I do have the furnace down, and it looks like my opponent does not have the furnace, and those fire spirits providing pretty good value right now, taking out a few miscellaneous units. Check this timing out. Gotta love it when this happens. I wanted to throw him a thank you right here, but I decided not to. Thank you for that. Here come the elite barbs. Gonna go ahead and stomp on them with the minions. Of course, he does zap them. That's not gonna stop them for long. They do get some damage off on that tower though, and of course, here comes more princess action. His princess goes down, finishes off my minions, which probably was unnecessary at that point. At the most, they would have gotten one shot off on his tower. Now, you will notice my opponent has both the Miner and the Elite Barbarians, so a slightly different deck. Now, he also has an Inferno Dragon, but check it out, as he is never really going to have an opportunity to deploy the Inferno Dragon throughout this entire battle, and that comes from keeping this constant pressure on of the low elixir cost cards just coming in, masses of fire spirits moving forward there. He had to use a zap spell, probably a good choice, as 4 fire spirits, 3 of them would have gotten to the tower. Here comes the log on another princess, 4 more fire spirits in from behind, and check that out right there on the tower, almost completely taking out that tower and the skeletons as well. When you have a mirrored or more 4 furnaces up at the same time, it is just overwhelming. And now I'm going to start to drop the princesses all over the place. Things are feeling in control right here, as that right tower just about history. Lots of fire spirits pouring out. Should not have a problem stopping the elite barbs, even with the zap spell there. Just a couple of skeletons and the log are enough to keep the elite barbs away from the tower. Another princess, another furnace. I've got my princess to answer from the other side. The log avoiding her. I don't know if that was an attempt at a predictive log. It didn't quite work out. Mirrored princesses, and then the goblin barrel on the tower as time runs out. He zaps that goblin barrel, but we've got so many small units moving forward that it's really just a matter of time. This guy with his princesses, though, I'm telling you, may be close to a record for the number of princesses getting deployed in one battle, but then again, we are not done yet. This is just the first. Check it out. Fire spirits taking out all of the minions. The goblin barrel in there in overtime. Log, zap, doesn't matter. 130 something hit points left. I'm calling good game because the elite barbs are not going to get there. The fireball is just barely beating the elite barbs and the predictive log and grabbing the 1-0 win. But this is where you guys come in. I'm not just going for the top of the leaderboards and the most wins. I want to have fun in this game, and I want to hear what you guys think are the most fun decks to play. Let me know down in the comments below my fun deck, and I will try it out. Maybe you can tweet me on Twitter, hashtag myfundeck. It sounds dirty, but it's not. Give it a try, let me know, and if I use your deck in a video and I grab your tweet or your comment, maybe, just maybe, I can give you a shout out and a little something else, a little something to help out your account if possible. Again, hashtag myfundeck. It doesn't have to be the best, most successful deck in the world. Just make it fun. I love the troll decks. It is a lot of fun just trying and surprising players with things that they really don't see coming. That is where it all works out for me in the end. Now, of course, with this deck, occasionally I do get completely stomped. And yes, it's not the greatest idea to put down as many princesses as you can, but it looks cool, it's fun, and that's what I like to try. Against big tanks like this, it doesn't normally work out real well, and the mini P.E.K.K.A. is going to get in there and smash my poor little princess, at least one of them, and another one up, and it won't be long and we'll rotate around. But in the meantime, check it out. Minions get all the way to the tower, and the princess in support, doing damage as she takes that witch down, and the fire spirits can't quite get there. but the exchange works out pretty well, and the princess getting several hundred hit points in damage. Definitely still probably maybe, okay, definitely still my favorite legendary card is the princess. All right, so another princess down, another mirrored princess down. That's right, left lane, right lane princess action. And the 7 hit points left on the tower. Look at the value on that one right there. The bomber, the wizard almost gone, and the tower all for the cost of 1 cheap fireball. And check out the princess doing the cross lane support. 2 princesses and a skeleton army just annihilate that giant. And this guy really realizes at this point that it's just not looking great. I've got princesses all over the playing field. There it is, the triplet princess card. That's right, Galadon's imaginary card that of course will never happen. It would just be so OP. I mean, come on, 1 princess is pretty powerful. And okay, so we lost those 3, but we've got another one up. We've got a mini P.E.K.K.A. and check out the value of the log. Crushing the mini P.E.K.K.A. and one of the barbs right down the middle, bowling a strike without a bowler. Okay, wait for it. Fireball on the tower and the king's tower there. Just grinding that right tower down just in case we fall behind. Here comes the elite barbs. Should be able to control them. Uh-oh, graveyard and elite barbs and the wizard in behind. Got my own skeleton army, got the fire spirits, got the princess working across the lane, and somehow everything works out and we hold on to that left tower. Check out all the little units, and that is what I love about this deck. Again, just having so many units all over the place, and somehow as time counts down we take the 2-0 lead and really just walked all over this guy. He just wasn't ready for it. Too many expensive cards, and the princesses win the day. So I'll admit, it's very frustrating to play against this type of deck, but come on, you guys. I hear the complaints nonstop. Just add it to the list. I hate playing against the Royal Giant, the Expo, the Mortar, the Miner, the Graveyard, and now the Zap Bait deck, or whatever you want to call it, the mirrored lots of little units deck. And so the princesses again starting out the day. The Hog Rider coming down the lane. We've got the skeleton army to control the hog. The princess, really, I feel like her day in the light is back. I feel like, you know, for a while she was kind of underused. Now I feel like she's got some great value because a lot of people have gone to the minion horde, the skeleton army, to try to counter the elite barbs, which are just broken. I'm sorry, you guys. There's no other way to put it right now. Elite barbarians are, as Chief Pat would say, busted. Now, that doesn't mean don't use them. I mean, come on. If you've got an opportunity to use a slightly overpowered card, then go ahead. But really what happens is everybody's using them. Everybody is working on counters to them. But nonetheless, I feel like they are going to have to be nerfed just to try to bring the balance back into the game of decks. You want to see more of a diversity. That's what makes this game fun, is to see a diverse amount of decks, a diverse style being used. That way you're not coming up against the same units every single time. There's something about that unpredictability that is fun but frustrating. Kind of like whenever I see a Lava Hound, I'm like, oh man, another Lava Hound deck, and maybe I'm not ready for it. This deck does work okay against the Lava Hound because of the minion horde, if you can avoid getting it taken out. Not a lot of people bring arrows, and Zap just not going to do it, not going to stop that minion horde as it's working on an incoming Lava Hound, or a balloon for that matter, or a Mega Minion. But in the meantime, back to this battle where it's down to about the last minute, a defensive poison spell, and that really means that my opponent is on his heels. I've got control of this battle, and it's time to bring out the princesses. Yes, as many as I can possibly get down. See them approaching from both lanes, left and right. Right here, I'm really just trying to think of how I can keep these princesses up and how maybe I can cycle back around to more of them while just not completely losing it. Now, I do lose the princess on the left, unfortunately. The skeleton army somehow survives the wizard, takes out the giant, and we're back to another pair of princesses. Now we've got them in a line. Check that out. We've got 3 princesses on the battlefield, and watch them just annihilate the units on the left-hand side. The furnace stalls the Hog Rider, as does the log. 3 princesses up. The skeleton army is there just to keep the princesses alive. And there's 4 princesses, Quattro Princesna, and here comes number 5. That is right, it's a quintet of princess. It's 4, well, okay. Oh man, okay, well, there were 5 there for a minute there. Come on, clickbait thumbnail. We got to get that in there. Beautiful. 5 princesses up at once, and that is going to do it. Now, hey, just real quick. That's not clickbait. Clickbait is when you put something in a thumbnail that doesn't exist in the video or is impossible. That is not the case in my videos. Thank you for that clarification. Thank you for watching, you guys. You are truly #Galafan members, and I love each and every one of you. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Stop by a Mob Crush live stream for your chance at iTunes and Google Play gift cards, and get out there and make every attack a full attack.